Hello, this is Tom Meeks, and this is 3D Design for Fun and Life, featuring Moment of Inspiration using the uniquely easy Noun and Verb method. This session is Layers of Help. There's a popular old saying, the third time is the charm. It means that the third time we try something, the result can be definitively better than with our earlier efforts. This is definitely true for Michael Gibson, the creator of Moment of Inspiration. You may be surprised to learn that decades before Michael created Moment of Inspiration, he had already created a mesh modeling application called Sculptura in 1992. That became the pioneering and very successful 3D design application called Rhino, short for rhinoceros, released in 1998. A link to this history is wikimcneil.com Rhino history. I have no idea what Sculptura was like, but I did have some experience trying to learn Rhino sometime around the year 2000. I wish I could say my attempt to learn was successful, but I simply could not get it and gave up. It was just too hard for me to learn. It became one of the many 3D applications that I tried to learn with little success over the next few years. But for some reason, unlike the other packages I tried, I kept the Rhino install disk and manuals and put them on a storage shelf where they remained until yesterday, when I dusted off the box and took these images of the contents. I believe the reason why I kept the Rhino install package was that I could tell it had the features I needed, even if it seemed so difficult to learn for me. When I finally stumbled across Moment of Inspiration in 2012, I had no idea that its creator had also created Rhino. All I knew was that Moment of Inspiration had all the features I had been looking for to design my own 3D objects and was so much easier for me to understand and use. Looking back, I believe that Michael's difficult and risky decision to abandon the standard Windows interface for Moment of Inspiration made a huge difference. But there is more to it than that. What is present in Moment of Inspiration that was missing in Rhino is an understanding that users benefit greatly from help from the developer that provides many layers of support during each step of the design process. In this video, we're going to focus on some of these very useful layers of help.
For this course, we have identified 10 layers of help that Michael Gibson has provided to help us learn Moment of Inspiration quickly and get the most out of this wonderful 3D design application.
Layer of help number 1, step-by-step prompts.
Each time we select a noun or verb to use in Moment of Inspiration, a dialog box appears in the upper right corner of the screen that provides us with each step required to successfully perform our selection. It also provides us with all the properties available for that selection on a context-sensitive basis. Remembering this is probably the most important thing we can learn. We will create a 3-point circle to demonstrate our first layer of help. We choose the 3-point circle noun, and instantly our first prompt appears. Step number 1, pick first point on circle. We do that and instantly our second prompt appears. Step number 2, pick second point on circle. We pick point 2 and instantly our third prompt appears. Step number 3, pick third point on circle. We can count on this step-by-step help with every noun and verb we select.
Layer of help number 2, the ability to use math functions as values.
We are working in metric, but in the United States, we commonly use inches when measuring items. Michael Gibson makes it very easy to convert from inches to millimeters because he has given us the ability to define values using mathematical functions. 1 inch is 25.4 millimeters. So, if we need to create an object that is 4.5 inches, we simply enter 25.4. Asterisk, 4.5. The asterisk is the symbol for multiply. By the way, the slashed is the symbol for divide. If we need to twist an object 7 times from bottom to top, we don't have to remember 2520 degrees, the exact value. We simply multiply 360 by 7.
Layer of help number 3. Repeat.
Checking the repeat box allows us to continue the same operation as many times as we want. If we had to select sphere for each time we wanted to add an ornament to this tree, it would take quite a lot of time and effort. But by using the repeat option, the job goes much more quickly. Click on Cancel to stop the repeat process. We can always go back and arrange objects to refine the design after all of the ornaments have been created.
Layer of help number 4. Constraints.
Probably the least obvious of the layers of help are the 3 fields on the bottom of the screen that perform not one, but 2 helpful functions. To demonstrate, we'll select the single line noun. As we can see as we move the end of the line around, these fields provide us some real-time information. The top field reports our mouse location. The bottom left field reports the length of the line, and the bottom right field reports the angle of the line. What is not obvious is that these very same fields can be used for constraints. We'll enter a value of 20 into the bottom left field, and instantly we see that our line distance is constrained to a length of 20 millimeters. If we enter a value into the bottom right field, our angles will be constrained to multiple of that value. Constraints can be especially helpful with polygons. Polygons don't have a radius or diameter field in their dialog box at the top right of the screen. The constraint can be used to precisely define the size.
Layer of help number 5. Snaps.
Most 3D applications provide snapping as a layer of help, but Moment of Inspiration's snapping control and level of feedback is uniquely valuable. Earlier, we showed how we can set the default grid snap in the Options dialog, but Michael Gibson has given us the ability to interactively change the grid snap value anytime we need to do so. Hovering over the grid snap button reveals an up arrow. If we click on that arrow, we see that we can immediately make changes to the way we work with the grid, including turning the grid on or off. Straight snap can be turned on and off while in the midst of designing, so it's available whenever you need it. But the real workhorse of the snap capabilities is Object Snap. There are 14 different object snap types. Each of these types provides feedback to us as we design. Adding a new line demonstrates just how useful this feedback can be.
Layer of help number 6. Construction lines.
We are hugely appreciative of the value of construction lines. Construction lines are temporary lines that are created by holding down the left mouse button as we move our mouse. Combined with the feedback we are provided by the object snaps, construction lines become very powerful design aids. Suppose, for instance, that we needed to create a circle that was centered on a point that was parallel with both the center of the blue circle and the center of the red object. It's going to be somewhere in this area, but to place it precisely, we're going to use construction lines. We first create a horizontal construction line starting from the center of the circle. We then create a vertical construction line starting at the midpoint of the top of the red object. We place our center circle at the point where these two construction lines cross. The construction lines disappear once the circle is created. Learning to use construction lines pays big design dividends.
Layer of help number 7. Edit frame.
In order to take advantage of the edit frame, we need to turn that feature on in the Options dialog. The Show Edit Frame checkbox is found on the View tab. The edit frame provides us with very quick access to the ability to move, resize, and rotate selected objects.
Layer of help number 8. Axis icon.
Some objects are so symmetrical that it is difficult to visually determine their orientation in the 3D view. Moment of Inspiration includes an optional axis icon that helps us orient objects. It is located in the lower left corner of the 3D view screen. If you do not see it, locate the View tab of the Options dialog and check the Axis icon checkbox. In this example, watch the position of the Z-axis as we rotate the object.
Layer of help number 9. Help button.
The help system is always just one click away in Moment of Inspiration. If a noun or verb is selected when the help button is pressed, the text related to that noun or verb will pop up. Otherwise, the main help page will appear with links to tutorials and the command reference document. If we click on the arrow that appears above the help button, we can retrieve our license keys needed to upgrade or download beta versions of the software.
Layer of help number 10. User-defined shortcut keys.
There are a number of commands in Moment of Inspiration that do not have a corresponding button in the user interface. To run these commands, we either type them into the large field at the bottom of the screen or we have the ability to assign a shortcut key combination to call them instantly. We can define these shortcut keys in the Options dialog. Notice we have assigned Shift+R to immediately run the Rebuild verb. Now, all we have to do to run Rebuild is to hold down the Shift key and press the R key. The Rebuild dialog instantly pops up.
This is 3D design for fun and life. 3D design courseware based on Moment of Inspiration by Tom Meeks. It should be very apparent by now that Michael Gibson, the creator of Moment of Inspiration, has gone the extra mile to give users of Moment of Inspiration as much help as possible to make it both easy to learn and easy to use. This is why I am very pleased to be able to introduce everyone to this wonderful application. I hope you enjoy learning and using Moment of Inspiration as much as the many students we had the privilege to teach through YouthQuest 3D ThinkLink Lab initiative.